Well, hello, you crazy kids. It feels like just yesterday that we were talking. Amazing. Amazing. And that is because it was just yesterday we were talking. We had a good chat. But I'm hoping today that we won't have streaming problems. I've told you guys before, if ever you start talking about God, the demons don't like it. They don't like it. I'm just saying, there's always bugs when you start talking about God, so I'm not going to talk about God right now. How are you guys? I'm coming down and looking, saying hi to Zephyr, to Lisa, to Rachel, to Nick. Hello. Right now, I am, normally I'm drinking my coffee. This is my meal right now. I'm having a protein shake, and it's not very good. Problem is with protein shake, if it tastes good, then it's probably bad for you. That's the thing. Hey, Michelle. I'm glad Michelle's on here today because one of the reasons why, I'll wait a little bit till we get some more people on, but hey, Jim. But what I've noticed, I've noticed this, obviously I noticed it in Hollywood that, the people, the squeaky wheel gets the oil, that it seems that the bad people seem to prosper. And again, I'm not going to talk about God, but as Christians, we know that our reward is not in this world. And that is difficult for some people to really kind of comprehend, isn't it? That you might do something, if you notice this with the left, like you might do something based on principle because it's the right thing to do, and you might not benefit from that. This is one of the arguments, by the way, for me for the existence of God. Because if you think about it, why is it we feel good when we do something that is contrary to what would benefit us? For example, why do we feel good giving things? When you give things, you are literally giving away your money. You're giving away things that benefit you, yet it makes you feel good. Talking of which, we missed her yesterday, but Joan Lovelace is in the house. Hello, Joan. How are you? We missed you yesterday. And then in comes, when we're talking about giving, Wonko the Sane, as we renamed him Wonko the Awesome, gifting 5 Matthew Marsden channel memberships from the off. Oh, yes. Wonko the Most Awesome gave memberships to Josiah Rises, to Paladin Dragon Writer, to D Blaze, to Happy Happy. I like that. And Deborah. Deborah, you all got memberships from the Most Awesome Wonko. And of course, Wonko. Sexual chocolate right there. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. You know what? I'm going to give you another one because you're so awesome. We like that. And see, so there you have Wonko giving something and feeling good about it. And guess what? Everybody else feels good about it. Everybody else feels good about it as well. And it's inspiring. All right, so doing the right thing, even though you might... Oh, let's put it like this. Why do you feel guilty when you do something bad, even if it benefits you? Hello, Matthew. How are you? So all these feelings that we have, even though we try to be logical, they point towards a higher order of things. That it's not just about personal gain. Okay? Now, if you talk about evolution, if evolution was just the reason for it, then that wouldn't be the case, right? Because evolution would mean survival of the fittest, which would mean that what you have to do... Somebody's at the front door. I don't know if you can hear that. Somebody's at my front door. So evolution would mean that, like, say, promulgate your species is going, a woman, right? But we know that that's not right. We know that that is evil. Okay, we know that is a bad thing. In the same way that you would think that taking money would be another way of, excuse me, guys, 1 second. Taking money would be another way, but we don't want to take money unjustly. We want to, why do we have why do we like good, hard work? Why do we think that hard work is about? Sorry, there's somebody at my front door. Hold on 1 second. I know who it is. Bear with me 1 second. It's one of my neighbors. It's my buddy from down the street. And he should know that I'm doing a live stream right now, but he doesn't. I'm going to ask him why. Hello, humble gun caddy. All right, back to focus. Hold on, I'm going to give him some crap now because he's just walking into my house right now. Come in, Mr. Thornton. I'm just doing a live stream. It's okay. Do you want to come and see my next door neighbor? He's right. He's doing. Don't you dare play that guitar. Here he is. Look, say hello. Say hello to the people.
Let's go. Let's get the guitars out. Let's do it. Not today.
No, not today. Not right. Get out of here.
We
what
have to
you
rehearse
do?
first. Okay.
Yeah, that would help a little bit. See, this is. I love my neighbors. They just drop in. I've got an old school kind of house where I'm like, hey, my neighbors can come, knock the door, hang out whenever they want. Don't you love that? We love our neighbors. Love thy neighbor. How funny is that? Now I don't have like Archer jumping up me. I have Mr. Thornton jumping up me. By the way, Mr. Thornton has... Hold on, Pat. Oh, look who just came in. Look who just came in as well. Please come and tell the people what your website is. I want them to go and patronize your website.
TinySaints.com.
TinySaints.com. They're really awesome. They're tiny and they're saints. So go support him because he's awesome.
Buy one, get one free today.
Buy one, get one free right today. There you go. And look who came in to see me. It's chaos in the Marsden house. Come here. What you doing? Look who came to see me today. Honestly, I am a professional. I am. Come on then. What are you doing right now? What are you doing? Look, he's... You know what? This dog... Look at him. Don't you dare eat the mic. Don't you dare eat the mic. You know I love you, right? Well, yeah, okay. No, I've got a show to do. What are you doing to me? Who's that over there? Are you going to chill out now? Archer's in the house bringing chaos. I got chaos today. What a chaotic show we have. Anyways, right, sit down. Sit. Good boy. See, he just sits down. Hey, Tom, how are you? I do want to give a shout out to a few of my people who are going through difficult times. Tom, one of them, you are awesome. We love you, Tom. We love you, Tom. You've got the community here. Also, Texas Laurie, giving you a shout out. I know she might not be on today, but we're giving Texas Laurie a shout out. And any of you guys that need this community, this is what we're doing, building a community. All right, so now, honestly, it is utter chaos today. Now I've got a 2-year-old crying. Coming through the door, what is going on today? What is going on today? I've got a dog. I've got a neighbor. I've got a 2-year-old crying. Abbott's heads are falling off. It's crazy. All right. So let's get back to the... Man, my life. This is my life, actually. It's crazy. It's amazing, but it's crazy. And I've actually got to give a shout out to my buddy here, Mr. Thornton. His wife is actually, she had a detached retina and she's having to stay face down like constantly, which is really, really horrible. Hey, sit down. Archer now wants to get out, but he can't get out because the door this way won't open. All right, sit down. Sit. Good boy. Down. You can lie there. All right, back to the scheduled programming. I'm just telling you, it's live. We've got to keep it real in the house. All right, the topic is why are politicians so selfish? And as someone else said, I can't remember who said it, why are people so selfish right now? Like, why are they? Why are they all about enriching themselves, doing things that benefit them? And hey, Adam, and what kind of provoked this? Couple of things. Like, why is it that these politicians come into, I mean, we're talking about the big politicians, right, in the House and the Senate, and they make millions and millions of dollars. Not just like $1 million, they make hundreds of millions of dollars. And they do that in all different kinds of ways. So why are they allowed to, they say it's not inside trading, but come on, man. I mean, come on. They make moves before things happen. Come on, we're not dumb, right? We're not a bunch of stupid people. And that's why, I had a little bit of a disagreement with my very good friend, Sarah Gonzalez, and Eric July, saying that actually they should get paid more in Congress. I understand their argument, but I think that we would have more of an excuse, because if you've got to maintain a house both in your district and in DC, that's really expensive. And I think if we take the incentive away from having to make money outside to supplement your living, that's better. Otherwise, you have to have all millionaires and billionaires come in. And look, I'm not adverse to that either, because once you make your money, what are you doing? You want good people from business. We're seeing this with Trump coming in. It's a difficult thing. Or it's a difficult balance, right? Because I also understand the argument, you give them more money and they do it anyway, right? But it's like, what is the incentive for good people to go to Congress? You get threatened, you get doxxed, you have to go through all this stuff. So anyway, that's my one thing with that. And that is part of it. Now, I am looking as well at two other things. I want to know, is my friend Michelle Smith still in the house? Courtney, I love Courtney. Courtney comes on and Courtney finds a way to compliment me. And I'm telling you, I'm all about it. I don't care. I love the flattery. I love the flattery. So, where does it come from? Why do the people in the Texas Legislature, the Democrats, think they can just run away and break quorum? Why do they think that? Now, what's basically happening is they're redistricting in Texas. Now, for any of you that know anything about politics, they do this all the time, and it's normally the Democrats that do it, right? If you want to go and have a look at Adam Schiff's old district in California, it's the weirdest shape. It's like, I know because I was around it, right? It's Burbank, but it goes Burbank, then it's all weird. So they are saying that, oh no, we can't do this. This is going to get rid of our seats, blah, blah. I'm sorry, that's the game. You guys play it all the time. And this is the funny thing with the Democrats. They leave and then they go, we're doing this for Texans. We're fighting for... You don't fight for Texans by leaving the state, you bunch of muppets. That's not fighting for Texans. It's running away. Now, if Greg Abbott, who I think is super lame, actually kicks them out of their seats, which he can do, I'll take it back. I'll be like, Greg Abbott, you're doing a great job. Because that guy, honestly, if you look at someone like Ron DeSantis, look, Ron DeSantis is the best governor in the country. He is. He just is, hands down. Nobody can touch Ron DeSantis. And he makes decisions regardless of the blowback, which is the way it should be, right? That's the way it should be. Now, Greg Abbott tends to go, okay, I'm going to do that. Right? It's almost as if he goes out and polls people. Now, if he does this, I'll retract all of that. And I'll say he's a strong leader. And this is a good step in the right direction. He should be eliminating property tax. He shouldn't be have to pay property tax. All this kind of like, we're going to reduce property tax. It's all bullshit, because all they're going to do is raise the prices in local counties. So it doesn't matter. It wipes that out anyway. It's all bullshit. And I think, as I've said before, the American people after COVID have just had enough. In the same way, the British people after COVID and after mass immigration to their country that is clearly having a massively detrimental effect. By the way, I want to make a point about this because, just segue in 1 second, there was a kid stabbed yesterday in the UK. Really tragic. Again, it's just tragic. And how many times have I said to you that the biggest impact from radical... Now, I don't even know that these people were Muslims or whatever, right? I don't know that, right? But this poor kid, Mohammed Afzal, who's clearly probably a Muslim, has been stabbed to death. This is disgusting. This is disgusting. And I've said over and over, if they find out that it's a bunch of other people like that, I mean... And by the way, if they're white, they need to be jailed for a very, very, very long time. I'm just sick of this. But I doubt very much whether they will be. I'm just saying, I doubt. This kid should still be alive. And I've said to you before, if it is Muslim on Muslim violence, I have made the argument over and over and over again that the biggest victims of Islamic violence are other Muslims. I've said it over and over and over again. It's tragic. And we don't see half of the stuff that's going on where these people get bullied. All you got to do is ask any of our soldiers that were over in Iraq and Afghanistan and see how local Muslims are bullied by very, very violent individuals. Again, I've said this over and over. It's not about race. This is about culture. And the culture in the UK is just deteriorating. But anyway, I hope it's not. I don't think that... I think all lives are precious, right? Like, all lives are precious. I don't care what race you are, what religion you are. All lives are precious, and we need to have more of a what's the word I'm looking for? More respect for life, more respect for people's dignity. This has to end. It has to end like this. It was not like this when I was growing up over there. And like I said, if it's a little white girl or if it's a 19-year-old Muslim kid, it's still bad. Right? Either way, it's equal, right? It's equal. But a life is a life. And until we recognize this, we're just going to keep descending into chaos. I mean, that's what's going to happen. So, talking of which, we have a bunch of selfish politicians that only care about themselves. Now, why is that? Let's look into that. Why is that? Is this a societal thing? Yeah, it is. It's a societal thing. Why? Well, because why did all the doctors go along with the COVID bullshit? Most of them. Why did most people tell you to shut up? Why did most people, when I said, it should be a choice whether or not you have the vaccine, why did most people come out and say, you should be denied healthcare? They said it. Why? Why should I? And at the end of the day, what it comes down to is this. Joan, it is about greed, but it's about something else as well. It's about self. It's about creating yourself as God. That's what it's about. It's about I, me, about putting myself first. And here's the thing. What America used to do really, really well was it could blend the rugged individualism. It could blend the rugged individualism with a love of God. Because you can be both. Right? You can have a love of God, His commandments, and follow and be a Christian and be a rugged individualist. You can do that. Communism wants you to abandon it, right? And not be an individual and abandon God and be a commie, right? And give everything up to the state. And then all of a sudden, by the way, the state becomes God. But what has happened is in the UK and in America, what we're seeing is the killing of God, right? The death of God in the community, in society. So if you get rid of that, what are you left with? You're only left with this rugged individualism. Or the communism, which then, in both cases, you're creating new gods. In one instance, it's the person. And in the other instance, it's the government. You're basically creating a new religion. And that's what it is. That's why the left, when they talk about Joe Biden, look at Joe Biden, he is so amazing. Look at him. Oh, we miss them. Oh, no. And I'm like, well, what are you talking about? He's not even a good person. Like, objectively, he's not a good person. And he's a shitty father. If you grow up, if my kids end up being, allegedly drug addicts and, using prostitutes allegedly, like I would consider myself to be an abject failure. So what we have, unfortunately, is on both sides, there's the love of power. They have them for different ends, right? Because the right has the love of power because they want to be individually powerful and have money. And the left want to be collectively powerful and control everybody else. Like the individual doesn't care what everybody else does, right? They're like, okay, you go and do your own thing. I don't care. I'm being a rugged individual. Which ends up in chaos, right? Because you can't be detached from society. And then the left, well, they just want to control everybody because they want to force. And again, when people talk about a utopia can only exist by oppressing some people's lives. So, hello, Antonius. So this is where we're at, right? Like, we're at a situation where there are a few people. By the way, let me go another way. There are also people who put the individualism, not just personal, but the application of individualism first. And that doesn't work either. If you look at like Rand Paul and Thomas Massey, and look, I like those guys a lot, but they can also be wrong. This is where I am just not down with libertarianism. I'm just not. I don't think it works because, you just take away a higher morality, which we need to aspire to. Everyone needs to aspire to be a better person. So this is what we have, right? We've got people that are enriching themselves on the Republican side for personal enrichment, don't care about anything else but holding on to power so they can continue enriching themselves. I mean, how much money is enough money? Well, if you're in the House and you're looking around, you're like, I got a few million. And then you're looking, you see Nancy Pelosi, and you're like, she's got 200 million or however much it is. You're like, I want that. I want a bigger boat. Because then it becomes a competition, right? And it used to be that people would serve. It was a vocation. Again, it's very similar to doctors. It used to be you wanted to go in to heal, and you'd make a lot of money doing it. Now you're like, I want to make a lot of money doing it. Oh, and I can heal someone. Antonis, I don't really talk to Eric about libertarianism because, I respect him about his position. He's very, very educated on it. There's no point in discussing it because I believe that, he's smart enough to know, he knows his position very well. But then I also think that if you're not going to vote, then you can't complain about any results. But I love Eric very much. I think he's awesome. And we are like very close on 90% of things. But look, this is the difference between, I think, Democrats and Republicans, is that you can disagree on core issues and still be friends and still unite on the multitude of them. And then, disagree on other things, and I'm okay to agree to disagree. I'm a big enough boy to understand that. The left, though, you disagree with them and you are anathema, you're out, you are banished to the netherworlds, never to be seen again, and all names called, which is why they keep fracturing, right? Because at some point you're going to come short. And you see it over and over. It's very it's kind of interesting to watch as they eat themselves. And the reason why they're able to eat themselves now is because they've got power, because they achieved a lot of the things that they thought were out of their reach. And the things that were out of their reach are now realities, but they're not based on anything. Okay? Like a man is a woman. Like that's blatantly absurd. Yet they claim to be the party of science. Well, you can't be the party of science. And by the way, Christians have always been science and faith because science is a reflection of God's creation. So they work together. They shouldn't be separate. That is why the Catholic Church instituted universities. You wouldn't have a university if it wasn't for the Catholic Church. Now, right now, that might be a bad thing, but so this is where we are. We have a bunch of people, and by the way, the difficulty is that we have big money, like very, very big money people who have a disproportionate effect on politics. I mean, huge, huge. You have to go to these people. If you can't do grassroots, which is what I'm trying to do here, I'm trying to take it away from their hands and put it in yours. And I've seen this. It's like me trying to raise money for a movie. I have to go to these big donors. And they normally want something in return. And I understand that if you're going to spend a lot of money, it's not enough that you have the product in return. Do you know what I'm saying? So that's why we need to do this independently. So you guys are the ones that fund these things. You guys are the ones that have control over them. And so you know that it's an independent thing, that if you like something that I'm doing, then you put money behind it and it rises. And if you don't like it, you don't, which is a little bit upsetting, like that you guys aren't up in your memberships, right? What am I doing wrong? No, but the point is, a lot of these people have been funded by people that control the narrative. And if you haven't, like if you look at someone who I love, like Tucker Carlson, you know, he's independently wealthy anyway, but he was on CNN, I was going to say his show name, but he was on CNN, then he was on Fox. And so he's been out there for a long time, right? So he's built his brand with these corporations. And I do think he's independent, without a doubt. I mean, that's what got him fired, right? Because he won't bend the knee, or he left because he wouldn't bend the knee. But he's already got the platform, and I'm building the platform. It's in a different space. So I could go. That's why I was so reluctant to take a sponsor, because I wanted you guys, number one, to be involved, but number two, to understand that I'm not beholden to anyone but you. Teresa Warner in his schnizzle. It used to be a public servant position. No politician should be making money from inside information. We need term limits and term limits. Yeah, we do. Oh no, I gave you the wrong one. I've got to cancel that out. I've got to cancel it out so you get the sparkles. What is going on? There's chaos in the Marsden household today. I'm sorry. At least you know it's real. Amazing. You get the sprinkles and the sparkles. Yeah, but this is what's disappointing, right? Josh Hawley, he's got a bill to stop trading. How should that be a thing anyway? But then he also wants minimum wage, and minimum wage is an utter disaster. Like, you don't want minimum wage. That's a terrible thing. Thank you, Teresa. You are awesome. Although we do want a full picture of your face. Like, the eyes, although very beautiful, we want the full picture. I'm just saying. The lion will give her power, Joan Lovelace. Yes, it will. That's the problem. It's trying to get... You could also do the lion for the ladies, you know what I mean? Because it's like... Rrr. But I can't give the dude something. I have got on here a race car. I was thinking about that. But it also kind of sounds like someone doing a giant fart. So I was like, that's probably not a good thing. I hope that on the show you can see the consistency in what we're trying to do. All right, what we're trying to do. We are seeing the corruption and just trying to build something outside of that you guys will know is legitimate. And the thing is about the people that follow me, which is awesome, is that you guys don't care if you disagree with me. That is like so rare. It's like, you know, all this Joey Swole nonsense with him worrying about, I mean, I know he got some death threats, right? I go and ask Sarah how many death threats she gets. I've had death threats. But, so, you know, whatever. But you can't be beholden to people for the money. You can't worry about that, about people leaving. Because then you start doing things for them. Do you know what I mean? In the same way, you can't be worried about a company firing you because of your opinion. Not in this space. And the only way that that is truly going to happen is if we build it independently. It's the only way. Because if I go out now and I raise some money to start something up, I'm going to be beholden to the person that invests. And at any moment, they could pull that out if they don't like. This happened to a friend of mine. If they don't like what you're saying. And it can be the most stupid thing. I had a friend of mine, I won't say what it was about, but he kept using this phrase over and over. And the other person said, can you stop doing that? Because I got one complaint. And it was part of his vocabulary, right? He used it all the time and he did it again. That was it. He was gone. Gone. One thing, one complaint. Now, I would have said, carry on, I'll lose that person. Because you can't do that. By the way, I'm going to talk, my friend Michelle Smith is back. So talking about, I'm going to switch gears a little bit because Michelle's here. Then we're going to go back to, I want to get to the core of why people are so selfish these days. But Michelle works with Ken Paxton, and I know, like, Ken Paxton has been absolutely solid. If you go back and you look at all the things, that's why initially I got connected with Michelle, because I admired Ken Paxton and what he was doing so much as Attorney General. I mean, he has been absolutely brilliant. If you go and look at all the lawsuits that he's done, bum, 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 he's absolutely the best AG in the country. And of course, like Donald Trump, they tried to take him out. And yeah, he's had some personal problems. Here's the thing, I don't care. I don't care. I said this about Trump. People came up to me and they were like, Donald Trump, he's done this, he's been a womanizer, he's done that. I said, I don't care. I don't care what my heart surgeon or my broker or whatever, I don't care. I mean, I don't want them to steal, right? But we all know we have difficulties in relationships. Everybody has different levels of difficulties. And we don't know the insides and outs of those. And a lot of people, to be honest, a lot of the good people don't say anything. And then another side will blab on. If you guys have gone through any kind of divorce, you will know that, right? So I tend to just say, is that person doing a good job? And if the answer is yes, that's all I need to know. I don't need to be, I said this about Trump, like, I'm not looking to Trump to be my moral compass. I'm looking to Trump to sort the economy out, to stop the illegals coming in, and to make sure we don't get into any of the wars, right? I'm not looking at him going, I should probably live my life the way that Donald Trump did. Although, saying that, look how his kids love him. If you look at his kids, they're pretty much all squared away. And that says a lot, because I'll tell you, go into Hollywood and look at their kids, and almost to a person, the big stars, their kids are disasters. So Ken Paxton has an absolute amazing record. He has been unwavering. They've gone after him like they did Trump. And he was urged and pushed by people to go for Senate. That's not what he wanted to do initially. Like, he was urged and pushed, and Michelle can talk to this, pushed and pushed and pushed, because people are like, we need to get rid of this rhino. Now, you can go and look at what John Cornyn has said in the past. I'm not going to really get into this that much, but I'm going to say this. Why all of a sudden is there a lead story on Fox about John Cornyn? That's all I'm saying. One car the same. In the house, holy crap, our leaders are fallible humans. They have to go. Exactly. And of course, Wonko the Awesome gets another. We have, again, this is to do with the abandonment of God. What do I mean by that? We are all broken people. We've all made mistakes. Some unintentional, some because we didn't know any better, and some, we just did the wrong thing at the time. I believe a lot of that. There's a few malicious people out there, but the majority of people do things out of like panic or, an error of judgment. If anyone who's got kids will understand this. So we understand, certainly as a Christian and a Catholic, this is the thing with confession, right? Like confession is there because the church understands that we are going to make mistakes. And just so you guys know, I'm going to explain to you just a little bit of a segue of what confession is for Catholics. Because again, I'm going to try and let people, non-Catholics, understand certainly the theology around it as best as they can, so they can understand it, reject it if they want, or say, okay, I get it. But at least at least it's not what you think it is. So the first thing is does God know your sins? Of course he does. Okay, so when people go, does God know your sins? No, of course, and everybody knows he knows your sins. But my analogy was this, is if my kids go out and they do something wrong, they break the window, what means more? Dad, I'm sorry, and then they carry on playing, or Dad, I'm sorry, I'm going to go to the store, I'm going to pay for a new window, I'm going to pay for it to be installed, I'm going to clean it, don't worry, I'll take care of business. Which one to you sounds more genuine? Which one would you say is more, would hold more weight? Well, of course, the second one would. Okay? So with confession, you have to drive to the church. You have to wait in line. You speak to the priest. If it's a priest that knows you, you're going and telling him normally the same things again. And you have to have in your heart a desire not to do that sin again. Do you understand? Like you're like, I don't want to do this again. You don't just go, whatever the sin is. I gambled, I cheated on my wife, or whatever it is. And then you're going to go and cheat on your wife and gamble the next day. Like that, it doesn't work like that. You have to have in your heart a sincere desire to stop doing that. Okay, and the priest says, I absolve you of your sins. It's the priest acting in the place of God, right? Now, I will also say this. I'm going to get onto why that is in a minute. And again, I am not a theologian, so this is just Matt Marsden's very fundamental understanding of this sacrament. Imagine you are like a board, a piece of wood, and sins and nails going in, right? Confession comes on and it pulls the nails out. Now, there are still holes in the wood, and so you can't go to heaven until those holes are filled. And that's where purgatory comes in. But anyway, a lot of people will say that this is not biblical. It's absolutely biblical. Jesus gives the apostles the ability to forgive sins. He says that. I just want my Protestant brothers and sisters to understand that whenever they say this isn't biblical, that is your pastor telling that. And you might disagree with it. You might say that's not my interpretation of that, but it is biblical. It is in the Bible. What is loosed on earth will be loosed in heaven. What is bound on earth will be bound in heaven. Jesus says it. And there's plenty of examples of that going to the first church fathers. All right? All right, Wonko, have a good day. So I wanted to tell you that because I want you to understand that. And again, as a Catholic, I wrestled with these things when I came back to the faith. So why do I need to do that? You know what I mean? And then you have to go into it in depth and without any prejudices that you have. So, all in all, what we've done is we have kind of like somehow by abandoning God, like the left has abandoned God, so they have to have, their people have to be perfect. Joe Biden has to be the smartest, most brilliant, cognitive president of all time. He can't possibly have done any of these things. And then Trump has, of course, done all these things. Because he's the other guy. And you can't possibly have another guy not doing all those things. It doesn't matter that, Biden showered with his daughter, allegedly, right? Showered with his daughter. His son is a complete mess. We sat there and watched him. The guy couldn't get a sentence out. And yet they said, he's so fit. Do you remember that? Look at how fit he is. Look at how fit he is. He runs like a robot, right? And then he fell up the stairs that many times, right? But they can't do it. They can't let their God have any faults. Do you guys get it? Do you understand what I'm saying? So it all comes down to faith. That's what it does at the end of the day. A lack of, and that's why, and I'm going to tell you this as well. A lot of people, you see this with the prosperity gospel on the right. Look, Catholicism makes sense if you really understand that we're broken people. Now, not all denominations, will... I know some people who will say, well, if your life isn't getting better, then you must still be sinning. Right? Or, what I'm going to do is I have to be perfect, even though behind the scenes I'm doing X, Y, and Z. The reason why the left does it in a different way, what the left does is they say, you must agree that I can do anything I want. Because if you can do anything you want, then you're not breaking any rules, then you're not doing anything wrong, because anything goes. So on one side, you've got people saying, anything goes, don't tell me what I can and can't do. By the way, they always tell you what you can and can't do, but they don't want to be told what you can and can't do. And on the other side, a lot of Christians will say, no, Sarah gets it. Me and Sarah get it all the time. Why do you have to curse? Like, that's terrible. It's like, why do you have to curse? I'm like, is that really the biggest deal? What about all the other things we do right? And by the way, when anyone judges you like that, I'm always like, what are you doing? Because everyone's got a vice. Everyone has a vice. And that's why I was talking to a friend of mine the other day about this. I'm like, it's easy to see your stance, look at other people and say, well, look at the way they're behaving. It's very easy. But by you saying that, you're doing something wrong. You're not looking at your situation. So what we've got is we have, especially on the left, right? We've got a bunch of people who weren't whooped as kids. That's what it comes down to. They weren't told no. They didn't get a slap on the ass when they did something wrong. They were told that they were very, very special. They're little special flowers and they can do whatever they want. So when they don't like the redistricting of Texas, they get on a plane, they fly out the state, and then they say that they're fighting for Texas. How are you fighting for Texas? It's ridiculous. You're fighting for Texas by leaving Texas. How does that make any sense? And the problem is, I've got a troll. Why does MAGA support pedophiles is my question. What are you talking about? I know these dicks, these assholes like to come on and... Are you the asshole that was here yesterday? All right, let's entertain him. I don't mind. That's absolutely not true. MAGA fully supports and defends PDF files. No, that's absolutely not true. You want to talk about that? You want to talk about my friend Yako, who has been actively going after child predators for years? You want to talk about my friend Craig Sawyer, who has been going after child predators for years and years and years? Okay, so instead of these ridiculous accusations, give me some proof, right? Because we're not the ones that think that, that people should be having sex younger. We're not the ones that are for NAMLA. In fact, my friend took down NAMLA. You want to go and look up Bob Hamer? He took down NAMLA. So instead of your ridiculousness, give me an instance where MAGA supports that, because we're not the ones that are saying it's okay for schools not to be able to tell the parents of kids that they're changing their sex. We're not the ones that think it's okay to give puberty blockers to children. So come on. What are you talking about, dude? Okay, because you're an idiot, I'm going to explain this to you. Right? Because here's the thing. You had 4 years of Biden who didn't do anything, right? What did he do on Jeffrey Epstein? Nothing. And so what our side has done is they've released most of the files. Now, if there's nothing in those files, right, because your corrupt bullshit people erased them, all right, your side erased them. So who is left to point the finger at the bad guys? That's Ghislaine Maxwell. All right? So if you want to get something out of somebody, this happens all the time, you fucking retard, right? If you want to get something out of somebody, you have to negotiate. Do you understand that? She's clearly not going to say anything. She's in jail. So if you want the evidence to come out, you have to dangle a carrot to her to get the other people. Do you understand? That is the law. That's the way it works. That's the way it worked with the mob. That's the way it worked with any organized crime. And by the way, support it. I have said over and over and over again that we need to find out if that woman is in jail. Because I'm going to tell you this because you are so stupid, right? That they are now saying that there are no, according to the files that your guy had for 4 years and did nothing that we know of. Now we're hearing that they altered them. Isn't that a surprise? You guys and your people have never altered stuff before, right? Steele dossier. Never come up with lies, right? Never. I have said over and over and over, and every single person on this, apart from you, has called and said we need absolute transparency. Okay? And here's the thing. I'm going to talk to you specifically, you mouth-breathing cockholster. All right? Directly to you. Because you're an idiot. I want to say to you this. If someone is in jail and there are no perpetrators, that person's going to get out of jail, right? So she is about to negotiate. That's what happens in the real world, in the big person world. I don't see you running and trying to find out what happened to Biden and to Biden, the fact that he allegedly showered with his daughter. Is that okay? Did you delve into that? What about what Hunter Biden was allegedly doing? Did you delve into that? We don't have time for your clutching of the pearls when you don't give a shit, when you want the borders open and they're raping kids coming over and you guys just want the borders open. You got idiot senators going out there trying to stop ICE from getting people that are literal rapers and murderers of children, and you guys think it's okay. So shut your fucking cake hole and get off my thread. I don't have time for people like you. I don't. You're full of shit. Either you come in with a solution or you stop making allegations. Do you understand? Because I know people that are out there risking their lives trying to stop this. Support pedophiles. What are you talking about? You guys have no morals whatsoever. It's the same thing. You have people coming on and they're like, you're not really a Christian. Like, what do you know about being a Christian? What are you doing? You don't know anything about being a Christian. You think everything should go. You are literally the party of demons, and you're coming on here trying to say like, oh, you guys support pedophiles. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? It's the process, you douche canoe. That's what it is. You have to follow the law, not like what you guys do, which is lie and slander and drag a president through the mud with all these allegations that clearly, in my opinion, are not true. But that's okay. Yeah. Mess with a bull, dude, you'll get the horns. Again, I mean, these people, it just pisses me off because here's the thing. I have 9 children. And the fact that anyone would accuse anybody that I know of, which are pretty much all MAGA, of defending a pedophile, I'm up for stringing them up from a lamppost. I don't think we go far enough with them. Honestly, these bottom-dwelling shitbirds, and they think they can come on and troll. Really? Really? You guys are the party of degenerates. This is why I'm not adverse to using bad language, because these people deserve it. They need to be shut down. That's what they need to be done. And part of the problem is, back in the day, they would have said something to you. I don't care what's going to happen to me on YouTube for this. They would have said that to you in a bar and you would have smacked him in the mouth and they wouldn't have said it again. You know, if you look, even I've gone on and on and on about the grooming gangs in the UK, on and on and on about it. We are the ones that want to stop it. They're the ones that aren't having kids, and now all of a sudden they want to utilize that and say that, oh, you guys are supporting parents. How do you expect? And this is just logical. Listen, how many times have I called out, and I've said this, if the Trump administration does not get to the bottom of this, it's going to be a massive black eye for them. Tell me, how many times have I said it on this show, on X, and on Sarah Gonzalez's show? Over and over and over. Who's the person that goes to the drag queen story hour to stop the little kids being exposed to that? Sarah Gonzalez. So don't tell me that MAGA doesn't care about this stuff. This is the ultimate gaslighting, and I hate it. I hate the way they do this. They are the ones that do the things that they accuse you of doing, and I'm done. I'm not having it anymore. They can come on here and smear the names of good people that are in this chat. Shouldn't really mess with me when I've had 3 coffees. I'm actually a really pleasant person to be around. I just, honestly, guys, I've got to the point where I am so fed up of these people. And then Teresa Warner comes in and makes, and behold, I make all things new. Teresa Warner comes in and says, you know what? I'm making it a beautiful day. Yes, I am. And she gifts 10 Matthew Marsden channel memberships. Here we go. JD Whiskey, Hot Moo One, Bo Carlson, Chris S, Kale Thanash. You got to tell me how to say that. I don't know. Amy, that's a lot easier to say. JPS, Josh, Nutmeg, Nokifu, all got memberships from the most awesome and, may I say, beautiful Teresa Warner. And of course, she doesn't just get the sparkles. Oh, she gets those. Oh, yeah, she does. But she gets the sprinkles as well. It's a beautiful day. It's a beautiful day. All right, I'm going to go a little bit longer. Yes, I am. Because I'm going to, these people, they shouldn't knock you off your game, right? But I'm all for smashing people. I've told you guys this, that some people say, well, why'd you go after these people online? I'm like, because they're liars. I hate liars. Like what he said is a lie. Why does MAGA support pedophiles? No, we don't. Like, no, I've never met anyone that said, oh, yay, pedophiles. In fact, even if you want to look what Candace Owens is doing, right? I don't know if you've seen the Candace Owens Tucker Carlson interview. I listened to it last night. It is unbelievable with the Macron thing. That is crazy. And Macron, they've been playing around with the age that he was when she saw him, his missus, between 14 and 16, and she was 40 and a teacher. What? Or he was a teacher. Oh, there's some crazy stuff going on over there. Hey, Tom. Thank you, my man. We got you, man. We're all praying for you here, dude. We're all praying for you. Right, let's all give a shout out to Tom. Let's give him a shout out. We love Tom. The interview with Candace Owens is staggering. It's utterly staggering. You guys have got to go and watch that. It's like mind-blowing. But again, I thought Candace Owens would consider herself to be MAGA and Tucker Carlson would consider himself to be MAGA. And nobody else is talking. In fact, they're all covering it up. They're all covering this up. Yeah, well, Zephyr, it is 15, but the age of consent in France, but allegedly it was 14 when this happened. Because they said 16 first, then they went to 15, and then 14. But anyway, she was like 20 years older. I don't know. I don't know precisely what that is, but it's going to be very interesting. I always used to joke about the French because it's like, you know, the French have got their wives and then they've got their mistresses, and they all do it, right? You know, a good percentage of them do it. They're kind of weird like that. I don't know why they talk like this, and I don't know. Je me suis désolé, je ne comprends pas. Je parle français un petit peu, mais ne bien pas. I did a movie in France. I actually did a movie in France, and I asked them to speak to me in French the whole time. And by the time I got back, I was fluent in French. I've forgotten it now. I'll tell you what I do know, and I can say it to that other guy. Fermez la bouche. That's shut your mouth in French. Yeah, and I want to listen, Tim. Thank you for that. I said prayers for anybody watching this chat. Keep up the good fight. This is where we are, guys. And as Teresa said after she very, very kindly gifted those memberships, is please re-up them. It matters. We've got to build this. Like I said, we went past 16,000. I didn't even know, right? I didn't even ask for it, right? So there is something going on where people are looking for authenticity. And you guys know, I've said it from the beginning, I'm not going to expand at least until we get to that 10%, which is 18,000. And then we can start expanding. I am going to do, when I say expand, I am going to do another like recorded segment that I've decided to do. Look at Shirley Betterton comes in. She's like, no, you're not having all the sparkles. I want sparkles. I want it all. So Shirley gave memberships to Coffee Game, Doug B, Tina T, Alison Patton, Blunden. Wait for it. Wait for it. Thing. Shirley gets the sparkles. It's beautiful. If you got a membership from Shirley, please go over and thank her right now. If you're there, you get over there right now. Right now. That's what I say to my kids when they're being naughty. You get over there and you apologize right now. Well, you're amazing, Tom, and you're an anchor of this little community that we're building. So, yeah, we got a lot of prayers going on, man. You got a lot of prayers. Hey, Zephyr, you're saying you can't type. Look at what happened to me the first 10 minutes of here. It was like utter chaos, right? Everything was going insane. But we're building, like I say, please re-up your membership. Now, I don't think I get notifications if you re-up your membership, but we can't keep relying on the same people to be gifting memberships over and over, right? Please pay it forward in the way that you just up your membership. Okay, if you support what I'm saying, I have to keep saying that, support what I'm saying, click. If you're watching on X, please come over and subscribe. It matters. And then, you know, I'm not going to bend the knee, right? I'm not going to bend the knee. What I will do every now and then is like slap some liberals around a little bit that come on and try and troll me. Just a little, or maybe like, by the way, do you know that's interesting? Oh, well, I won't get into it. I was going to get into the verse where Jesus says, you know, if you slap my face, then give them the other cheek. And Spider's like, no, it's not just going to be the ladies in the house. I'm coming in and I'm gifting 10. Spider's like, this is the way I roll. And you know what, Spider? Oh, yes, it is the way you roll. Oh, I gave you some sparkles as well. I don't know what to do with that. What do I do with that? Are you sparkly lion? I don't care. I'm going to do it again. Maybe that should be a thing. What do you think? A sparkly lion? What do you think? I don't know. But if you got a membership from Spider Unlimited, you go over there right now. You thank that man. You thank that man. He's the first one to get a sparkly lion. I know that. And so that's long last name. William Killen, Doghouse Riley, Mike Shaw, Rachel Percy Art. We haven't seen you in a while. Enki's daughter, Kenneth Sidders, CB, Jedi Master Ayla Secura. I know where some of you guys get these names from. Cousin Dave, You got a membership from the most awesome Spider Unlimited. You go over and thank him right now. And then, not to be outdone, Lisa Perch is in the house. And she says, no, I want the sparkles too. Everybody loves the sparkles. What can I say? Everyone loves the sparkles. So if you got a membership from the most awesome and beautiful Lisa Perch, Free Hacker Radio, Linz, Scotty, Chris Rivas, Kiki Lee, not the Kiki Lee. That would be awesome. But you are Kiki Lee anyway. You got a membership from her. You go over there. You thank her right now. I'm telling you, right now, I'll put you on the naughty spot. Yes, I will. Now, wait for it. It's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing. Yeah, Lisa's like, no, the ladies are coming in. Yes, they are. You guys are amazing. Thank you so much. That's Kiki D. I don't care. It's Kiki Lee or Kiki D. And Joan Lovelace, hang on a minute. Is that right? Oh my goodness me. Joan's like, no. Sisters are doing it for themselves. And then Joan comes in with 10 Matthew Master channel memberships. Leonard Zihong Zhang. Wonder C, The Dude, 199. Tipsy Dixit. I like that name. Jonathan Young. Rage Grifter. Ted Lehman. Emma Green. Ryan Clippinger. Manx Lass. You all got memberships from the most awesome and beautiful Joan Lovelace. We've missed you, Joan. We have. Do you want the two or just the one? When I said, do you want the lion and the sparkles or just the sparkles? This is a request. I gotta give her what she wants. What do you want, Joan? Do you want just the sparkles or do you want both? I like that crazy lady, Jane. Mazda membership Monday. I bet you can't say that after you've had a couple of tequilas. You know what? I'm going to make a decision if I don't hear from Joan. 5. Both! And because you gave 10, you get a sparkly lion twice. This is crazy. What is going on? This is my people, right? My people turn around and they love it. They love getting involved. They love seeing bad people getting squished like a bug. We love Joan Lovelace. We love Joan. Joan's possibly the greatest Joan. She's the greatest Joan. Some people say we love her. Mondays are great, right? I mean, come on, Mondays are great. You guys are building this channel. And I want to thank you so much. You guys are the plank owners. You know who you are. You've gifted all these memberships. And I keep saying, as Mike D always says, re-up your membership. And by the way, do you know who else has been saying re-up your membership? Teresa Warner. She's been saying it a lot. So re-up your membership right now. Do it. I don't know, I like that. I like that little sound effect. I've got some more sound. I'm going to make some more sound effects. What's this one? Hang on a minute. No, we don't like that one. I used to do that when Trevor used to come on. When he used to come on and say to me, you do 1 hour and no more. And I'm like, I can't. I keep talking. And then he would turn up and I'd go. Do you remember that? Good old days. What's this one? Hold on. No, we'll keep that one. I never use that one either. There is another way that I can press some buttons here. Hang on. I don't know quite. I better not do it because I'm going to mess it up. Hey, Anjanette, how are you? What a great day it's been today. What? Oh, my goodness me. Anjanette's in the house. And she's like, I am giving 1 Matthew Marsden channel memberships. We love you. We love you, Anjanette. Ryan Dublin, you go over there right now and you thank her. You thank that wonderful lady. And of course, full of sparkles everywhere. Sparkles everywhere. Good to see you. And all right, well, listen, what can I say? It's been a manic Monday. Just another manic Monday. Fire alarm. Oh, Antonius, that is naughty. You are a naughty man for for saying that. I could do that, couldn't I? I could do that. Could do a fire alarm chirp. That'd be funny. Now they call me racist, wouldn't they? Oh, racialist, innit? And it's special emojis for channel members. All right, I'll do that. I've got a lot to do. I've got to give my people what they want. What can I do? What can I say? So, all right, well, guys, I'm going to love you and leave you. Thank you so much for coming today. We've had a good laugh. We had some chaos at the beginning, right? Yeah, just to prove to you that it's real. I mean, it's real. This is just the way I want it to be. I want it to be us having a chat. Do you know, I've got to tell you guys, do you know how difficult it is for me not to come on and do a night session? I'm sitting there and I'm like, I want to go and talk to my people. I need more emojis. Yeah, I do. I know. I'll go and make some. I don't know how to do it, but I'll make some. And yeah, thank you so much for supporting the channel. Please re-up your membership if you're seeing this. Thank you all for the memberships, for the super chats, for everything. You are awesome. You're awesome. I don't crickets if it was a gun explaining. I'll be playing those crickets quite a bit, right? But I've got to remember which one it is. Is it this one? Yeah. Is it bad that I feel like a 5-year-old when I do this, that I love it? Anyways, guys, have a great day. I will see you on Wednesday. Because Wednesday, I don't know if you've seen the Michael McIntyre clip, will be Silent Letter Day. Yes, Silent Letter Day. We will talk about yogurt on Silent... Joan Lovelace, she's like, no. I'm going to come in with another one, another super chat at the end. She's like, I'm having the last word. Yes, I am. And I think what Joan did mean there is thank you. Or that you. That you. Tell me, Joan. But I'll tell you what I know. You get the sparkly lion. Yes, you do. And you don't just get one. You get 2 sparkly lions. Yes, you do. And thank you for that. You're amazing. Guys, awesome. Remember, not all actors like this, I promise. I will see you on Wednesday, where we'll be putting yogurt in the cupboard with a knife. Have a great day. God bless you. Bye-bye.